Good morning, gender and communication. I'm just going to make this short little video to remind you again about the peer review, which the first part of that's due today. So you can see on my computer, I pulled up the peer review process. Now yours is going to look a little different than mine, but it's basically the same view. So there we go. So you're going to see this assignment guide. Hopefully you've already looked at this, and then it walks you through it step by step. And you're going to submit a draft by tonight. And I know in my earlier video from earlier in the week, I said, make sure that you have that submitted by 11:59, because if you don't submit it by that deadline in the evening, you're going to get left out of when the computer automatically generates the peer reviews. So make sure you get that in on time. If you didn't get it in on time for some reason, you need to contact me and I will try to get you in the loop, because I can do it manually, but you definitely are going to be at a disadvantage if you choose to do it that way. So make sure you get it in on time. The process you are going to do is you will use I don't have a submit button, but you'll submit it up here, and you want to make sure you submit it to this peer review number 1 assignment. I know I said that the other day, but make sure you do that. And then do you see over here, yours is going to say, you won't have the speed grader thing, but yours is going to say something about peer reviews. This is the icon. It might be at the bottom depending on your view. I have a really wide screen view, but if you have a narrow screen view, it's going to be at the bottom of the page. You click on that and that's where you're going to find the peer reviews. In fact, let's see. This is what it looks like to mine, and it's got a list. So basically you're going to have, it's just going to say, none of them are assigned yet because the assignment hasn't been turned in. It's going to tell you who it is that you're supposed to peer review, and it's going to give you their papers that they turned in. So the other thing I wanted to mention besides the process is just this whole notion of giving good feedback. I want you to make sure that you are being kind, and both kind, but also critical enough to be useful. So you're helping these people with content mostly. Does the content make sense? Does it fit the prompt? Is there enough of it? Is there something you want to know more or less about? You could also talk about the organization. Does this paper have a clear introduction and a clear conclusion? Are the paragraphs centered around main ideas? They need to be main ideas. Talk about those kinds of things. And then any kind of grammatical issues, I tend to have students stay away from that. But if you do find something that is the sentence structure doesn't make sense to you, that would be a good time that you might say, hey, this part doesn't make sense to me. So just remember, the purpose and the intention here is to give good feedback. So you're going to make specific concrete suggestions or point out specific things that need to be worked on. And again, I said this in my video on Monday, but what I want you to do is download that file, type on it on your computer, and then re-upload it. Canvas should have that ability for you where you can make comments, you can highlight stuff, you could, sometimes what I'll do is I'll write in a different colored text. Your classmates need that information to get moving, and then you also put a comment on there as well. Okay, so reach out if you have any questions about the process, even technical stuff, or also if somebody puts something in your peer review that you're unclear about, or you have a question about it, maybe it raises a content related question for you, email me. Once in a while I do this assignment and I'll get a question from a student and they're like, now that I read 2 other papers, I'm not sure if I did it right. So you're welcome to email me those kinds of questions and stuff. In fact, I really encourage it. Okay, have fun doing your peer review. Your first post is due Wednesday. Your replies are due on Friday.